Hey, welcome back! Today I'm going to be looking at another song from The Tempest. And this song is entitled, While You Here Do Snoring Lie. It's a little bit of an unusual one, and not one that we talk about very often, because the content is rather simple. But yet it still is interesting in the context of the play. In the play Tempest, Prospero has conjured this magical storm and caused his enemies to be shipwrecked on this island so that he can maybe get his revenge or at least set them straight and get an apology from them. And in this particular scene, all of his enemies have just been washed up on the island. They've been wandering around lost for a while. King Alonso has been grieving over his lost son, who he thinks died in the shipwreck, and several of his friends are comforting him and trying to make him feel better. But there's also Alonso's brother, Sebastian, who has buddied up with the evil Antonio, and the two of them have begun to plot against the life of Alonso. Here we are alone and helpless, and it's a great opportunity to go ahead and kill Alonso and free Sebastian for the throne, in case they ever get off this island. But Prospero hasn't just left them alone to their own devices. He's sent his fairy servant Ariel to basically keep an eye on them. Ariel has been leading them around the island, and at one point he comes in and plays some music which causes them all to fall asleep. This provides the opportunity that Sebastian and Antonio have been waiting for, and after some discussion they come to the decision that they're going to go ahead and kill Alonso in his sleep. So they draw their swords to do so. But Ariel returns, and seeing what they're about to do, decides to put a stop to it, so that his master's plan can continue to come to fruition. But instead of simply waking the characters up, Ariel comes over and begins to sing a song. Therefore, this song is a kind of reveille. If you've ever heard the reveille played, it is a signal to awaken. I remember when I was at camp as a kid, they would play reveille in the morning to wake us all up and bring us all down for calisthenics and breakfast. So here's the song. While you here do snoring lie, open-eyed conspiracy, his time doth take. If of life you keep a care, shake off slumber and beware. Awake, awake. So the first sentence, while you here do snoring lie, open-eyed conspiracy his time doth take, is simply acknowledging that you are sleeping, but over here a conspiracy, a plot, is taking its time. And in this case, taking its time doesn't mean the more modern sense of, procrastinating or stalling, delaying, but rather his time doth take means taking the opportunity, seizing the moment. So you're sleeping, but this plot is seizing the moment. And notice also that the conspiracy or plot is open-eyed. The only two here who are awake are the conspirators. If of life you keep a care, shake off slumber and beware. Awake, awake. So if you care at all for your life, now's the time to go ahead and get rid of your sleepiness and become aware again. The whole point of the reveille is, of course, to pay attention to what's going on. It is, of course, an extremely simple song, but I want to point out just a couple of interesting things about it. Number one is that Ariel whispers it in Gonzalo's ear. Gonzalo is the kindly but somewhat buffoonish advisor to Alonso. He's also an old friend of Prospero, and the only character that Prospero is not angry at among this particular group. And this may be in part the fact that Prospero has more affection for Gonzalo. That's why he's the one who's awakened first. But also it might simply be a hierarchy thing. Here Ariel is going to the servant and allowing the servant to wake the master, the king. And so just as Antonio and Sebastian are pulling out their swords, Gonzalo and Alonso wake up and see them holding swords up over their sleeping bodies, which makes things rather suspicious. There's also the sense that one needs to be awake and pay attention in one's life. There's a running motif of dreams and sleep throughout this play. Prospero talks about the magic being stuff of dreams. We also saw that Prospero was not originally a very good ruler of Milan because he was too caught up in his own affairs and was not paying close attention to the state and to what his brother was doing. And so in some ways, this song is advice for the whole play. The characters need to wake up. They need to pay attention to what they're doing, and they need to take responsibility for their situations. And when they do take responsibility, then they will begin to distinguish right from wrong and make better choices, stamping out the twisting plots of conspiracy. Later on, Prospero is going to have the same sort of problem, as he's inattentive for a moment and nearly forgets to respond to the plot against his life by Caliban and the two clowns. Although this song is very simple, two very short stanzas, A, A, B, C, C, B, it still in many ways weaves into the overall imagery and meaning of the play. Thanks for watching. You can click to subscribe, or to go to my Patreon, where I've got extra resources for you regarding these songs. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.